Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL, Inspirations for Your Life. If you're new, you just saw a QR code pop on the right-hand corner of the screen. Take your phone, point to that QR code, and use your phone app to allow it to direct you over to my link tree. If you have any problems getting to my link tree, well, then just type in your browser Believe, Believe, me, M-E, Achieve, ACHIEVE.com. That'll get you over to John's Daily National Day Video, JCM Academy, John C. Morley Serial Entrepreneur YouTube channel, Inspirations for Your Life, which you're watching right here, JCM Academy's Business Coaching channel, Envision Networking, How to Network with John, J More Connection, J More Tech channel, and there's just so much stuff that you're going to want to soak up and really learn about. All right. And you know how we roll. Every single week, we start on a Saturday and we end on a Friday. Okay, so that means tomorrow we still have one more day left on this master topic. Well, John, what is the master topic? Not so fast. First of all, I want to personally thank all of my friends, colleagues, and wonderful associates for taking the time today or tonight or whenever to keep supporting me. I really appreciate it. I know there's things you have to do, and I know that making the choice to follow my content just means like the world to me. I'm extremely, immensely grateful, more than any words could ever share. So thank you a gazillion times to the billionth power. All right. And so let's get to that master topic, shall we? Because I know you're all wanting to know what the heck is that master topic. Well, I'm going to share what that master topic is with you in just 1 second. And that is How to Make It a Habit series, episode number 6. So we've been talking about habits all week. And habits are really the foundation for us to become better versions of ourselves. And you guys all know the main reason I live every day is to become a better version of myself and help others become better versions of themselves as well. I mean, that's really the truth of it. So habits. We talked about different kinds of habits. So what are the types of habits? We've talked about some, right? But we haven't talked about all of them, right? So a habit, a type of habit will get you to become more successful because your brain will spend less time trying to process things because it already knows what it should be doing, right? I've told you that there's good habits and bad habits. This week, we're talking all about the good and how to set good habits. Next week, we're going to talk about how to break bad habits. All right. So conscious and unconscious habits. Each day, we have a plethora of actions we perform. And by definition, habits happen on autopilot. But some of them we're aware of, and some of them we're not. And some we want to keep, and some we don't. And you may be very aware of your habit, such as the one we talked about brushing your teeth or starting your day with a glass of orange juice or what have you. And you don't even think about it. You just do it, right? You get up and you have that glass of orange juice. Like I get up in the morning and I don't even think about it. I'm taking my lumen reading to know what my CO2, my reading is, to know if I'm burning carbs or am I burning fat. All right. So habits are not something for the faint of heart, because habits will help you become better, right? There are many types of habits, as we were just kind of alluding to before. But thinking about a habit in your life, right? All right. There are lots of habit types. So one habit type that we could probably talk a little bit about would be your habit of character, okay? Intellectual habits, even motor habits, how you maneuver around, right? That's what I'm talking about when I talk about motor. What are intellectual habits? Well, those are habits that have to do with our mental process and things like the demands of our internal cerebral capacities. Drawing conclusions, decisions, reasoning, logical thinking, perceptions, observations, and of course, analyzing data. So what are motor habits? Well, they basically include maintaining particular posture of the body, doing exercises, walking, running, sitting, standing, etc. It has to do with our physique of our body and how we keep it without even know we're doing it. Conscious habits and hidden habits. So conscious habits is what we're aware of doing every single day. Unconscious habits we're doing, but we're not necessarily aware of them. We also have physical habits. How much water do you drink daily? Do you tend to slouch or do you sit, stand straight? How do you do that? And how and when do you exercise? Such as every morning, I do my planks. Do you tend to lay on the couch for long periods of time? Okay. Social habits. What are the words or phrases that you tend to say a lot? Like maybe when you were in grammar school or high school, you might have had a lot of your friends say, "Oh yeah, that's cool, man," or "That's really cool," or "Yeah, that's off the hook," or "It's off the chain." And so these were things that kind of went with their personality, and also the times. Do you talk to people or do you avoid them? Okay. Do you arrive early for appointments or are you always late? Energy. Do you snack during the day? And what do you do when you wake up in the morning? And what's your daily routine like? What's your routine like before you turn in for going to sleep? How do you react to a negative news story? When you see a friend posting pictures of luxury holidays on social media, what feelings do you get? When you receive criticism, do you take that as constructive, or is your first gut response to say, "I can't believe he said that to me"? Productivity habits. Maybe this refers to how often you check your phone for new notifications, especially when you're in a training. How do you determine if what you're doing is more important than another task? Do you do to-do lists, or are you a more of spur of the moment person? Do you have a system to avoid procrastination, or do you just kind of wing it and just hope that it works well? So these are just some generalities about habits. But when we talk about habits, a lot of people don't want to face the fact that maybe they have a bad habit. And I think the first thing we need to understand is that we have to recognize what our habit is, or why we're doing something a certain way, why we're not doing something a certain way. Now, this whole week, we're talking about habits and the good habits, right? And how to create them. Maybe you want to create a habit of meditating every day. All right. So set a time on your schedule, and every day at that time, maybe it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you can always build from there. But start with something smaller. And this way, you're going to be able to achieve it. And then when you do achieve it, you can just always bump it up a little more. But if you made it like 20 or 30 minutes and you really can't get through 5, you're like, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this?" So start with 5 minutes and then do that for a week or two. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I can easily do 10." All right. That's what you want a habit to be. You want it to be easy. You want it to be simple. And you want it to be fun, but you want it to be something that's repeatable, not because you have to repeat it, but because you want to repeat it. Does that make sense? I know it does. Habits. So now, once you've done that and you make the effort and you promise yourself you're going to do this, you set the time, nothing's going to get in your way, and you actually meditate. Maybe one thing you do is you learn what meditation is, because maybe you don't know what it is. Maybe you do some guided meditation, right? And so that every day at 3 o'clock or at 5 o'clock, you're going to do this meditation for 15 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes or maybe longer, right? And so when you enjoy the process, ladies and gentlemen, guess what happens? You want to do more of what it is that you're setting out to do. Now, that might sound strange, but we actually only do things in life, ladies and gentlemen, for two main reasons. And that is to avoid pain and gain pleasure. That's why our hospitals are so immensely busy, because they're trying to keep people out of pain. But what if we took the notion that really we're here to stay in pleasure? Interesting. But more people don't respond to being in pleasure. They respond to getting out of pain. Is that because of society? Is it because of doctors? I think if we focus more on the pleasure attribute of life, we'd have more pleasure in our life. That's the truth. But so many people think about pain, they think about this, think about that, and they're like, oh, how am I going to out of that pain? Instead of thinking about, well, what's that pleasure going to feel like? Or what can I do to have more pleasure? What can I do to have more relaxation? What can I do to stay calm? What can I do to not fly off the handle? That's a great habit to have, right? When somebody's around you and they start yelling, you stay calm. I understand that you may be a little upset right now. And I want to understand what I could do to potentially make you feel better or what's bothering you. The most important thing when you approach someone and they're all upset and angry, it's like, you don't do, hi, I hope you're feeling okay, because they're just going to go off on you. If they're yelling and screaming at you, you basically have to say, well, I know you're really upset, and I know you're really going to take the walls out and probably knock everybody down that you come in contact with. But I am really concerned about you, and I really want to understand why you're acting this way, because I want you to feel better. And I'm not upset with you. I just want the behavior to change. And they're going to scratch their head, and they're going to be like, huh. So it's not a direct attack on the person. Instead, it's talking about the behavior. Hey, Brian, listen. I know that we might not see eye to eye on everything. And right now, the only thing we seem to do is agree to disagree, which is fine. So we already have something in common. I just feel like we're always batting heads. And I don't want to bat heads with you. But I find myself doing it the more I try not to. So I was wondering, how do you think we could maybe meet in the middle somewhere? And strangely enough, when you talk about it from the behavior perspective, they're going to be very interested in wanting to change because you did it in a very diplomatic way. If you came up to somebody and said, hey, you need to stop this, they're going to be like, no. You say, look, I think you're a great person, and I know we have some differences, and I know you like to listen to music, and I do too. And at the same token, I need to study for class, and every time I try to study, it seems that there's music that's overpowering what I'm trying to read and concentrate on. And I'm sure you probably studied for a class before, right? And you need a little bit of, silence when you're doing that. It just seems that every time you study, I'm never around, but every time I'm around, you're here and you're always making noise. So I was just wondering if maybe there's something that I could do or that we could do together to maybe change that. And I think that could work. Habits. They're going to make you less lazy, and they're going to make you stay on point all the time. They're going to make you stay on point. So if I asked you a question, remember, we only have one more night on this. If I asked you this question right now, ladies and gentlemen, what is, you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you? What is the best habit to create? What is it? Morning rituals, read, be single tasked before you do something else. Now, people always say multitask. Now, I get multitasking, but you have to still realize that you're single tasking at one time and then you're kind of switching. Think of multitasking as like a processor in your computer. And if there were several programs open, it could only give a time slice to each program, but not all at the same time. When you get into multi-threading, then you can do that. A good habit is to surround yourself with positive people. Make time for exercise. Master the art of listening. What's the best habit in the world? Get enough sleep. Have multiple incomes. Avoid people that waste your time. Learn to make your goals a priority. Create a plan instead of pulling up excuses. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been an amazing privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you again this wonderful evening on Thursday. You know I'll be back tomorrow night with our last episode for this master topic of how to make it a habit. Next week, we're going to talk about how to break that bad habit. Not an easy thing to do, but we're going to talk about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll like, love, and support my channel. Definitely comment below. What does a habit mean to you? And then what I would love you to do, comment, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates, share this out with everyone you know on social media, and then go to my YouTube channel, John Space E Space MORLEY Space Serial Entrepreneur, and look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. And make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a savory slice of watermelon, a refreshing vanilla or chocolate cone, and maybe even an icy cold pop on a hot day. Either way, we're going to be grateful for those pennies and dollars and invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content ever. Hey, Kenny, it is great to see you tonight. Have not seen you in a while. We have lots of great content coming at you and so many other people. We've also rolled out under the JMOR umbrella, JMOR V1 JMOR, which you can check out under believemeachieve.com, under the JMOR tech channels. We rolled out a whole set of short videos, and every day for the next 30 days, we're rolling out a new topic. Like, for example, we talked about what is an endpoint. We talked about what ransomware is. We talked about what is professional communication. We talk about that in IT professional. So lots of great content, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you all popping by. Check out the great content that I offer, whether you want to check out IT, whether you want to check out motivation, whether you want to check out business coaching, whether you want to check out science. I guarantee you, you'll learn something to improve your life in every one of those. I hope that you have a great rest of your night or morning, depending on what time it is. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, everyone, take care and have yourself an amazing night.